Hey, this is Dog from Area 51 Branson. Been asked to try to build a full-scale 34-inch scale base from this. An air cleaner for a car. So I did some research and it's a 14-inch diameter. It's got cool flames on it, 3 inches thick. Terry Mojo Johnson from Swamp Drivers did a guitar version out of a couple of air cleaner guitars, and they sound really well. He's happy with them. He plays them online all the time. On Monday, look for Mojo Johnson Guitars. But this is the base of the base. So we'll see what happens. Got some ideas. We'll step through it as this video progresses. Stick around. I hope there's going to be a lot more to come of this. Okay, so you saw what the build is going to be. I'm at work today. I just got an email that said the air cleaner arrived, so it'll be home when I get there. And what I'm trying to do is find some inspiration in this thing to help me with that project. That's interesting. Let's keep looking around. Scrap metal bin. Some interesting material here. Looks like something off a lawnmower. I don't know what it is. I guess if I was building wind chimes, this would be a pretty good piece. And I'm not building wind chimes, I'm building bases. Looks like some drum tops cut out. Let's keep looking. Other metal. Big stuff. What I got is, I know round air cleaners have got rubber on the top and bottom of the filter so they seal. To make this thing acoustically viable, I got to get rid of that rubber and join the two halves of the air cleaner together some kind of way so it's one solid resonant piece. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I'll get rid of the rubber, and it's going to be just paper. I don't know. Whoa, wait a minute, what's this? I got an idea. It's not that thick. Alright, be right back. Alright, did a little digging, and I found this piece. The air cleaner's 14 inches in diameter, so I need to find the area around that, and it wound up to be about 44 inches, which is right there from the end. So I've got plenty of material here to use. The idea is to get my thickness of whatever the air cleaner is going to be, cut a strip of this, and with the holes that are in it, that'll help produce the sound. So I'll leave the little tabs when I cut it, a tab that I can bend and sheet metal screw to the top and the bottom of the air cleaner. That'll make it a solid one piece, also accessible to get into the center. And you got all these holes for sound to percolate through the air filter, which will be glued onto this as the exterior portion. So we'll get it cut out here in a little bit, see what happens. Okay guys, just a quick reminder. If you're going to do any kind of grinding or sanding, use your personal protection equipment. Respirator, goggles, gloves, and hearing protection. That's your only defense against elements. And the other thing that's important is you need proper ventilation. I'm at work and this is the grinding booth, and we have a sucker fan to pull it all out. If you're at home, do it outside, or at least if you're in a shop, use a fan. A lot of people start grinding and sanding, and as soon as they get done, they pull the respirator off. The air is still contaminated. You're breathing all that in. And I have no idea what any of this is. It's total yuck. So be on the safe side and use your PPE. It's black and white. You lose it. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So your health is important. But anyway, I dug this piece out, and I think it's going to work just fine. I'm going to try to sand it. I'll get some shots of that, of me creating dust and flying around. I'm hoping it's going to give it enough weight that the base won't be neck heavy. I hate neck heavy bases. So I don't think I'm going to be able to cut it out today, because I really don't know how thick I'm actually going to have it. I'll have to do the cutout at home, and I'll get some video of that. But just use your PPE. Don't even think about it. Just put it on. Okay, we're all sanded down, and I went ahead and sprayed both sides with some black primer. It'll help me when I go to draw it out. I can see the lines now. But that's it for the night. Thanks for watching. We'll work on it again this weekend. It's Sunday, which is actually my Saturday. I got a weird weekend. I've got the metal drawn out except for the tabs. I'll have to put those in to correspond with holes in the lid, and I'm going to have a cloth tape measure to locate all that, but that's no big deal. Everything's just kind of stuck together. Spent most of the day building this little block. Oops. And getting my pickups in the right spot. I've got this block glued in here at the bottom. It's standoff. All this will be joined up nice and tight. You won't be able to tell there's a seam. But the metal ring is going to go inside here, and the tabs are going to drop over the top. They'll come up and drop over, and do the same thing on the bottom side. They come down and go out, and that's where my sheet metal screws will attach and actually clamp all of the air filter together. The block took me quite a while to figure out and get lined up, and I kind of lost track. I was doing a video, so I wasn't able to go through all that process, but the all-important center line, that's where everything's got a job, is right there. My neck is a kind of weird cut on it, but I had to match that there, and it worked out just fine. Hope I don't drop it again. Get that set back up there where it's supposed to go. Notched out the lid to fit snugly around the neck, like so. Tomorrow I'll draw out the tabs on the sheet metal and I'll start cutting it. But that one little block took me most of the day to get done. We'll continue in the morning. Well, the storms hit us hard and crazy last night. Everything is still intact though, thank God. So I got the cloth tape out and I corresponded all the holes with the tape, marked my tape, and I'll be ready to lay out on the sheet metal in a ring here in just a little bit. I also got my pickup cutout set, and I'll be cutting those out today as well. So it's going to be a lot of metal cutting today. Stand by, more to come. It's tab time. So my tabs are going to work out to be about 1 inch square on those marks. So I have some masking tape that's 1 inch wide, and I graduated to 1 inch squares and marked them out. Just taped it to my ruler and then used my tri-square to draw the lines. Doesn't have to be perfect, but that's what it is. And each tab is going to center up on my index marks. And be right on the line. Yeah, it's hard to do one-handed, y'all. Be like that for one tab. And I'll just go through it and tab it out. Okay, tabs are all marked out, but I noticed something on this side of the metal has got no holes, so it didn't matter, but this side does, and it's going to be in the tab area. So I'm gonna have to wait. There's a hole right there. I'm gonna have to wait to get this cut out before I can locate my sheet metal screws in the bottom part to correspond with this. I'm going to have to move them over one way or another to catch the metal. It won't be exact like the top. There's a good catch before disaster strikes. But that's the piece, and now I'm going to get the jigsaw out and with a metal blade clamp my work to the table. It's going to be loud. I know it's going to be loud. And we'll go from there. Wish me luck. So the change in the cutting strategy, I took a drill and went through all the corners so it'll make it easy to make the transitions around them. Trying to cut it by hand was pretty futile. to say the least. So we'll see how this goes. And we have an inner ring. All that's left to do now is kind of file it down, sand it, and get the burrs off of it, and we'll be ready to bend it. All right, we got her all deburred with the file. I'll repaint it later. I was able to form it simply by putting it on the table and bending it around like so. It's pretty close, I think, yeah. And now I'm going to bend the tabs over. Simple process. Take my vice grip, clamp it on the tab, bend it down. Uh-oh. I had an explosion. Hate it when the vice grips explode. There we go. And I'll just clamp it on. Give it a bend. I'll fine tune all the bends later. And it did it again. Gotta love quality tools. And this is Vice Grip brand too. That's weird. Just clamp her on there. Maybe I'm clamping too tight. I'll back off of it a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Give it a bend. That ain't working out too good. I'm going to do that a different way on the ends. But that's the gist of it. I'll put the tabs on the end and the vise and do them so everything won't try to flex with it. They seem to be bending pretty good within the part, so. I mentioned earlier Terry Mojo Johnson, Swamp Drivers. He's on Facebook, and he does a segment on Mondays about this time. It's called Mojo Mondays. So look on Facebook for Mojo Mondays. He does a live feed. He's a really good guitarist, and he makes some crazy stuff. So just a thumbs up to Terry. I'm going to put it in the vise and see if I can get the end ones to bend up good for us. I'm not going to take the camera with me. It's just too awkward to try to do where you're working. I'll put the body of the ring into the vise. Have my tab exposed, and I'll take my what we call caliper, like so. I'll do the same thing to the other side real quick. You can see where I'm going with this. Bingo. I've still got to do some more bending and making them all flat stuff. But I want to try something real quick. This is the air cleaner part that goes in like so. But I don't want it on the outside. I want it on the inside. And I'm a little bit big on my measurement. So where's that going to come out? I'm going to have to cut it down. Something like that. That's all right. Perfect. It'll work. Be back in a little bit. You know, it's funny when you build things, you get turned around and everything. I was bending all my tabs the wrong way. They should have been pointing out instead of in. No big deal. I recovered from that. I have the neck block being glued into place. Once it's there, it'll get screwed in through the metal. And I got to do that to get the filter element secured around the neck. I don't want any gap there. And then I will proceed to sheet metal screw the lids together, locate my holes, and we'll be good. Well, I'm finally getting back to recording. You saw all the mayhem going on earlier, so I went ahead and slapped a little paint on it. Black with chrome flames, maybe, yeah. It's shaping up pretty good. I've got a better idea for the filter instead of the automotive type. It was definitely a tone killer. There was just no way to use it to make this thing acoustically viable. So I can't. My cover's not screwed down completely. I just got my pickups located in tonight. But it's got a nice ring to it. The parts are all metal, so it should have a really dobro-ish sound when you playing it unplugged. Remains to be seen. I'm looking forward for that day. But here we stand, and it'll be a little while before I can get back to this project. Our schedule at work is going crazy. It's getting to be Christmas time. But hopefully we'll be playing this thing before too long. Hang in there. Be back. Hey, what do you think about this for the knobs and the controls? Putting them in the notches of the flames. That seems to work out really well. It doesn't take away from the flames at all. I'm gonna do it. All right, I'm back at work today, and I've got the top for the air cleaner base. I noticed I had a problem with the bridge and the domeness of the air cleaner top. So what I did, I made a hardwood block, tapered the edges about a 45 and kind of rounded it off. I put it in our press at work, and I was able to emboss the bridge where it sits down and level with the surface. Now, all the saddles are way up, but you can see that with it adjusted down, it's almost level with the top. So my pickups stick up a little bit, but I think I'm going to have just enough to get the strings down where they need to be and the bridge adjusted and everything jive with the plane of the strings onto the pickups. We'll see how it goes, but that's where we're at today. Well, after much toil and effort, I've got it in a playable state. I still need a bunch of refinements to do to it aesthetically, but it's acoustically not too bad. These are old wore out strings. These pretty dead. But it is acoustically viable. And the magnetic pickups do a good job. You notice the strap attached to the cover. I had to do that in order to get it to a position that was playable for me, and it works out just fine. But there she is. Like I said, I still got some refinements to do to it, and I'll work on that. The knobs turned out really well in the notches of the flames. That worked out good. Everything seems to be where we needed it to go. Just like I said, Just some aesthetic refinements and we'll be good to go. Alright, I'm going to do a little sound clip of the bass. I'm calling this the Revinator. Air cleaner, rev motor, resonator, what it is. So, Revinator, yeah. I had to put a wood back on it. It really helped with the sound to produce out of the bass acoustically. But I was playing around with it and I come up with a little tune. Let's see if I can redo it for you. And it's cold out here and my fingers are cold. That's a sound. The E is really dead on this set of strings. It came with the bass that I donated to do this job. And I'm going to get some new strings and I'm pretty sure it's going to liven it up quite a bit. Right? So I'm going to unplug it and turn off the amp. There's a small fan running in the background, but maybe you can hear the acoustic qualities of it. And that's what it is. Doesn't do too bad. We'll get her in top-notch shape. Hang in there.